Good Monday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV, the internal combustion engine age YouTube channel that talks about all my cars and trucks and SUVs and motorcycles, the dogs, the bar and the kid, the addiction. Monday morning there, good morning, good morning. It's Monday morning, wow, just another week passes us. It's already second week of January, and as always, come on Ginger, let's go, come on. As always, thank you for watching my videos in the morning time for the morning conversations on how I like to just share my ideas and views and thoughts, silliness, creativity, and let's go on. And wow, what a weekend for me. Just wasn't a great weekend. So challenging. Whew, it's just time of the year. You don't stay healthy. And that was my story. At some point yesterday, I thought I wouldn't even be making a video today, but here I am. I keep chugging along. And I just keep on making it work, even though you don't feel that healthy. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, and that's the theme of the day: health. I thought, wow, have we talked about health? And once again, you can use this word health that can be so many other things around us, but the cars. I think today, with all the smart technology in these cars, you can have a health report of your vehicle on the app of your phone. And if you're a person that owns a newer car, come on, Pops, come on, Ginger, over here, baby. If you own a newer vehicle, you do know that you have the you can monitor your vehicle remotely through the apps of the manufacturers. That you can go in and look at your car, and typically it will show you like your tire inflations or your oil life, battery life, any alerts to maybe a recall, or many how many miles are on the car, the VIN of the car, where the car is. And so once again, I call it the health report of the vehicle, because you can do like a doctor does, and you can look at the vitals of your car like a doctor does when you go to the office, and to see if your car is healthy or not. And I think that's a pretty cool feature, even though in some ways it's circumventing because of where the big guys are controlling everything around us more than ever. And even to the point that there's now another YouTuber showing a video of where Ford's going to have the self-driving car of the future. They've already patented what they call, I don't know how you patent, how you repo a car, because you have full access to the car, and the car has full self-driving capability. I just think, okay, yeah, we're not there yet. Sure, can the car maybe maneuver itself out of my shop into the, well, for me, it wouldn't really happen. There's too many barriers for it to get here. But for the typical person, if they have their car sitting in the driveway, can it move out into the street so the tow truck guy can come repo your car? So, here you go, pup. So once again, it's more about, no, get up there. Come on, let's go. Come on, go. Nope, don't start it. Well, I'll just go up here to get him out. Come on, Ginger. Let's go. Come on, that way. I'll just get her up here. No, come on. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Hey! Come on. Oh, the office is already in the chaos zone because here it just loves to harass the girl. Stop it. So get out of here. Stay there, Keith. Stay there. Sit there, behave. Can you behave? Can you become more mature? Can you just leave my little girl alone? So, oh my goodness. That German Shepherd dog, he is high output like you can't believe. You even try to just lay low, it don't happen with that dog. Wear your butt out. What a pellet stove. That thing's a waste of money. I should take it back. Yeah, that thing, yeah, does it really heat up? Yeah, right. Yeah, so anyways, back to the health conversations. And isn't it the whole idea that these vehicles are around us, that they're supposed to make us healthier? And some of you are like, well, how do you mean your vehicles make you healthier? Well, in the dire straits, getting a car crash, these vehicles today are designed more than ever to take the impact, and now you take the impact. So hopefully you can walk away and not be injured so much like you would be so many years ago, riding around my dad's 1969 Cadillac Eldorado. Everybody knows those stories of the boat cars back in the day that were just all metal, and the car didn't look that bad, but the individual in the car was probably dead because of the impact of the vehicle. So today, more than ever, it's all about the health of the vehicles. But as always, it goes to Mother Nature. It goes to the never-ending conversation of what these cars are doing to the health of the world from the green agenda activists. And for those that believe that the ICE engine is doing harm to Mother Nature, that it comes full circle, as always, on my channel, to the EVs. That so many feel that the electric vehicles are the healthier age for the future of Mother Nature and mankind. And that these cars here, they're all the ice age, these are the problem child, as I say now, my saying on my channel, and these vehicles are the ones that are make Mother Nature sicker, and she won't be as healthy. And that's where I think the division comes into so many in our country. I think worldwide, but at the same time, I think in our country, it just becomes the division of why so many of the green agenda people will promote all day long that these CO2, carbon dioxide emitting emissions vehicles are the reason that Mother Nature is getting sicker and not healthier. And I think it's pretty incredible on how we live in a society today, more than ever, of the green agenda that is so vocal and so dominant, more than ever in modern times. Anybody that's my age will raise their hand and say, yes, the green agenda by far has advanced more than ever, especially in this country. And under the sitting administration, it has advanced dramatically, a lot, but has it? And that's kind of where the health conversation, I think, is intriguing, because if you look at Elon Musk, here's a guy that created the electric vehicle more so than anybody else, that has been recognized more than any electric car company vehicle in the world. It's Elon Musk and Tesla. And his vehicle has always been has always been supported by the green agenda and the governing bodies of, in some ways, enriching him. But it's very interesting on how the latest news on Elon Musk is on how he's not so healthy. Yeah, there's really an in-depth conversation if you go to Wall Street Journal, and I'm sure it's in Bloomberg, it's in the general media per se, but it's talking about how Elon Musk, his recreational activities of using drugs throughout the years has raised the eyebrows of so many that they feel like he is not really a healthy individual, and he's a threat in some ways to his own companies because of his activities. He's off the job, but there's now people calling him out for actually being high on the job. And I think it's just ironic that here's the guy that has made his billions of dollars through the green agenda and has enriched himself more than anybody in the world. He is the richest man in the world. So when I kind of talk about Elon Musk, he is the richest guy in the world. But yet the guy's, his recreational side is where he gets into, some feel that he is a heavy drug user. Is that factual or not? I have no idea. But it's all about the agendas. And I feel so strongly more than ever that Elon Musk, I've talked about him numerous times throughout my video over this past year, ever since he bought Twitter out. I just have intrigued about what he's trying to accomplish, and I've followed him more than ever in my lifetime. And it's just interesting how we're witnessing Elon Musk is the punching bag because of what he's doing in the social media, and he's voicing his views and ideas. And so now more than ever, I think that the anti-Musk that are concerned about his controls and his power and his so-called freedom of speech, I mean, yeah, to a degree, but not really, is raising eyebrows and feel like he could have an influence on the health of our country. And that's what it's always about. It's always about the health of our times and well-being. Is anybody here that's a voting citizen or anybody here that watches my channel that has a concern for the well-being of our country, you want to think that we have a healthy country in many aspects. And kind of taking a time out there, paraphernalia, Indian, and the Indian Challenger is in my one of my trailers, just kind of make room in the shop. I was just trying to get a bunch of these bikes out yesterday into my trailers, but it's so wet. When I took my Indian out, Challenger, and I sunk in the grass, I was spinning out, and it got to be very challenging without dumping the bike, and I got it in the trailer, but oh my gosh. So I said, forget that. I need it to be really cold out, because I really need to get my Challenger, or I should say the Charger. The Challenger, I think, has a PPF on it, a paint protection film on it, because it just stays clean so much. So I really think that car has a PPF on it, but I want to get the Charger back in because I just really don't want the environment. So on a really cold day and the ground's a lot harder, I'm going to get these other bikes out so I can kind of get the shop back in order with all my cars in it, because just the bike riding season isn't going to be much for the next few months, because we really are in a dead of winter, and we'll definitely have the continued challenges of cold weather and rain and stuff like that. Well, I tell you what, being down there at Motorcycles of Dulles, and that was really where I was going with this. I went down there on Saturday to finally put the Indian Pursuit to bed. So the Indian Pursuit deal finally went down on Saturday around noon. I made a whole video of it, and thank goodness that finally came to an end. And sure, did I get out of there without buying something? I did. Did I just about not get out of there without buying something? Yeah. You know me. It's always the challenge. You go somewhere and see really cool stuff and not leave with something to bring home. That's just kind of who I am. And so anyways, down there at the Indian dealer, Triumph, BMW, there was a guy there that bought a motorcycle on that Saturday of just downpouring rain. Somebody thought there was going to be a snowstorm. It didn't happen. It was downpouring cold rain. And the gentleman there is a military guy with his wife. He has a BMW K1600 GT, and he rides his bike apparently every day, except I guess when it's snowing or it's ice out. And so he test rode in a downpouring rain a BMW R18. And it's like, wow. I mean, that guy's a trooper. I kind of went around. I was trying to kind of give him some advice, but he didn't want to hear the Iceman talk, so I kind of just separated myself from that, even though others at the dealership were saying, hey, here's a guy to ask what you should, if in getting rid of your K1600, what should you get? But the whole point of that is the bike was right on the borderline of being a demo model, and one of the employees, Connor, there had to go ride the bike another 30 miles in a downpouring rain, late Saturday afternoon, to get that bike to go to 30 more miles to get the demo price for that military guy. And then at the end of the day, they were literally driving, they deliver the bike to the guy and then pick his two bikes up. He's trading for that one motorcycle. Here's a Harley. Boy, talk about healthy. This thing now sounds healthy. And that's the thing about our motorcycles and cars and trucks. All of us are always looking, how can we make our car a little healthier? And when I did this Breakout exhaust over the weekend, and I was just blown away on how nice this sounds. I just didn't know if you really get out of those mufflers, but it's it's a head pipe and exhaust. I mean, it's so, it's just so, there's like, to me, where is the Cadillac converters, as people tell me, the catalytic converters? I think they were in those mufflers that came off this bike. So I may have to tune this thing after all. I don't really know if I ride it up the road, but wasn't the conditions to do that this past weekend. So, but I did that on Friday. When I finally had some time to break away. Saturday was the rainy day, getting the Indian Pursuit done. But here's the thing. We all like to make our cars, motorcycles healthier. And how do you accomplish that? Besides forcing air into the engine, and in some ways having to modify the engine. But here's a perfect example of the Mustang. Here, look at this here. These cars have such like the moon glow, because in one picture here, this looks darker, and that one looks lighter. And two vapor, this is the first time ever I've ever owned two of the same cars, not the same packages, in the same color vehicle. But here's the thing. I ordered a Whipple Supercharger, which I would have to say would probably be in maybe late this month or first of next month. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to make this car healthier so that it has more power. And what's the Supercharger do? Supercharger in that Dodge Challenger over there, same thing. It's all about trying to get the motor to be healthier. And who doesn't know the stories of what I've talked about a gazillion times of you went from the 60s, the 50s, 60s, 70s, where the engines were becoming very healthy only to be smogged out. And then the heyday of the muscle era kind of came to an end. So with the cars here, as I was saying early, it's all about these vehicles in so many ways today being designed more than ever to keep us safe. And a lot of people don't like all the technology in them, but at the same time, when you have the adaptive cruise control, which is so cool, I never believed you could buy a manual transmission car. And that plate down there in the bottom is the adaptive cruise control camera, so I can drive this thing in adaptive cruise with the manual transmission. It's so cool. So in so many ways, these cars are being built to be a healthier experience for you if you're into the technology side, because of the Blue Cruise self-driving capability, limited to a degree, but you go down the highway, the road, the car has the capability for you to be able to drive the car and not have to worry about the car per se going out of its lane if you're not paying attention. The car is there to help you, assist you, and keeping it in between the lanes. And a car is there helping you to avoid crash avoidance. And now I think about it, it's this car that has the adaptive cruise control. This one does not. I don't think it does. I'll have to look inside here. I tell you, just so many cars. And the thing is, it's so disappointing that the weather's been the way it's been, because I really want to do a daughter-daddy Mustang day. These cars, and talk more in depth of them and have the road experience. But since I've bought them, the weather just hasn't really been to the liking on the weekend shows to be able to do that. Yeah, so this does not have the adaptive cruise control. This one does. Now, you look at the hoods here. It seems like that hood there protrudes more, but it doesn't. It's all because of the stickers. And in so many ways, I kind of wish they would have done a little different design on that hood just to separate it on the Dark Horse design. I think it's exactly the same. Am I wrong or right? I just don't really have so many vehicles. Yeah, I mean, it's the exact same hood. It's no different there. The blacked out, you'd have thought the blacked out roof would have gone with this car here. You'd think that would have been more appropriate. But the car looks really good. I'm really happy with the my decision to get rid of the GT500s and to get the newer Mustangs. Really am. Even though some of you are like, you know what? I've had my fun with those cars. That's the thing. I get my healthy time with them. And that's the thing. If you're, as so many people know, I mean, here's a challenge. If you're not a healthy individual and you've got leg issues, knee issues, whatever it may be, and you get in this car and say, hey, Iceman, I'm going to drive this car. And it's a manual. I can't drive that. Why? Well, I have health issues. Yeah, I mean, that's a huge challenge as you progress. I've talked about it many times on these motorcycles. There's so many different motorcycles out there, so many different riding styles. And if you're older and you have hip issues, knee issues, leg issues, ankle issues, arm issues, shoulder issues, the list goes on and on and on. You're not going to be able to ride this motorcycle. I mean, if you do, you probably won't be confident. Ask me how I know. I've ridden motorcycles with a really bad shoulder and a torn bicep. And trust me, it's not the most comforting to think about if you have to pick that bike up, if you lay the bike down or something like that. I mean, it's all about your health. And as we all progress, that's the key challenge. I mean, how big is the health industry? And what really, to me, is interesting for me in my life is I really am the kid that came from the 70s began lifting weights and went to the fitness gyms and all that stuff. And to think about how really, if you think, it started kind of the 60s, and it started way before that too. But the explosion of the health industry is pretty incredible. To think about how the 70s and 80s was probably the biggest time of growth for that industry just to truly explode. And what is incredible to me is we live in an age of more gyms than ever in this country. We live in an age of more pills and supplements ever. But yet the health of our citizens in this country is the worst ever. The obesity in our country and diabetes is the worst ever, and it's growing. Does that make any sense? I mean, in so many ways, it would be like saying that our ice age addictions weren't handled correctly, and the manufacturers really didn't know what the hell they were doing, and they're building these really ugly ass cars. I don't get personal on my Mustangs now, and they're putting in these junk engines in these cars, and they emit a lot more CO2, and they're just not really healthy cars. And in the crash situation, whatever it may be, they don't have good crash ratings, and so it'd be just in so many ways the car industry. What if it followed the challenge of our country's healthcare system and the individuals that more than ever today are in really bad shape? It's really sad, but yet we have cars and technology that we've never witnessed in our lifetime that has brought such coolness to us of incredibly powerful vehicles and the technology behind them, especially this Bronco. I mean, this Bronco has more capability than I've ever even driven, or I could probably even do myself, because I'm just not an experienced off-road driver. And so that's why people don't laugh at you. Like, yeah, you buy these high-end off-road vehicles, but you never even use them off-road. Right. I don't disagree. It's no different than the guy buys the Z06, the Challenger Hellcat GT500 that never actually tracks the car. He just buys it because he likes the look of it and the way it feels, the way it rides, and he feels healthy about himself. I mean, isn't that the thing about these cars? When you get behind them and you drive them, do you feel that you're driving a healthy vehicle, or have you grown up in the age where I drove around cars that didn't always run right? The carbureted cars, electronic issues, the rusted out trunk of my '71 Cuda. When I'm going down the highway, all the fumes are coming into the car as the trunk got deteriorated more and more. Yeah, those are real stories. You didn't have any tire pressure monitoring to alert you that your tires are low, as you got a flat tire on the side of the road because you didn't check your tires, or the tire was going low because you just ran over a screw. So in that situation, I remember being on Route 66 and 495, and my car Cuda got a flat tire, and we were on the side of 495 at like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, and extremely dangerous because of how hard to park the car on the shoulder next to the Jersey Bearer. And then we had to go hitch a ride with the guy to get back to my friend's house to get a jack, because I didn't have a jack in the trunk, hello. And the bottle jack was gone, or did I even have one? I don't even know. So my friend and I had to go ride in the guy. We literally rode in the back of this guy's pickup truck down 66. This guy's on like 80 miles an hour. We were wondering if we'd ever get back BC home again. We didn't know this guy's actually drop us off. And he dropped us off right there at the exit where my friend lived. We were able to go get the jack in his car and then drive back up to 495. And now it's midnight, 1 in the morning, and we're sitting there trying to change a tire while cars are going by you at nighttime without getting killed. Yeah, that isn't the best of circumstances. Anybody out there watching my channel, it's a tow truck driver, they're like, oh yeah, my health and well-being is always at stake. And that's the whole point. These cars today, the motorcycles, even these motorcycles today have the ABS technology built into them. The Honda Goldwing, which I've had, has the airbag technology in that motorcycle, because it's all about your well-being. It's only hoping that the worst case scenario happens to you in one of these vehicles or motorcycles, that you don't end up crashing, or if you do crash, hopefully that airbag and that Honda Goldwing on a T-bone hit maybe saves you from maybe from you living another day, not dying. But then at the same time, I know there's so many people who just don't like all this technology, and like the Breakout, to me, is your most simple bike. The Lowrider ST is your most simple bike. It just isn't into all this technology. It's just much more, in so many ways, simple, which makes it so much fun. You go here to the Harley-Davidson CVO, and it gets into all this infotainment technology, the new 121 variable valve timing motor, and that's where people start to have a separation of what they feel is something that is a fun motorcycle that then turns into something that's more of something not so much. I want to get over here, and I was going to open up my cabinet here and see. For me, I'm the technology guy, where what I have is these, what they call the AirVest. And this here is such a cool thing, because it's all about your health and your well-being, This is what they call an air jacket. And this jacket here has a battery pack. And this jacket is actually an electronic inflatable airbag. So the whole idea of this jacket is you put this on. What's cool about it is you can wear this jacket and still wear your really cool Harley jacket, climb jacket. You can still wear that and you still have the cool look effect on your riding gear. But this here is all about your health and well-being, because should you come off the motorcycle, this operates off of, I guess, the inertia, or it kind of gets a little bit more, it's all about the motion. So this thing senses if you come off a motorcycle, this actually electronically inflates itself to become an impact protector for you around your neck and your whole body to hopefully help you from being critically injured. So anytime you ride a motorcycle, if you can buy the gear and gear up between the leg, your pants, your jacket, your actually real jacket, which if you're smart, you're going to have a nice leather jacket, or you're going to have these Gore-Tex jackets, and you're going to make sure that, and you have the helmet, you have the higher line, like we have the Arai, have the Shoei, and then the gloves, just lots of things, and all that, excuse me, is all about the well-being and the health of you. God forbid you come off that bike, that you go down, you don't have severe abrasions and burns on your body from the impact of being sliding down the road or whatever it may be as you come off your bike, which you always have to be in the page that could possibly happen. So with the health, what is the health of the auto industry? It's just ironic that we went through a pandemic that made so many people sick and created such incredible financial havoc, and the businesses that were so healthy went to the dire straits, but yet the automotive industry had its healthiest times ever. It's incredible how the automotive industry during a pandemic, which you would just think that would have been totally opposite because of the dire straits of the country being shut down, and for so many being concerned about the well-being of themselves, getting sick, and interact with others, but yet the dealerships were swamped with people wanting to buy cars. And any salesperson who watched my channel, I'm sure guarantee you, they'd say my income doubled. I bet you some of them tripled, some of them maybe quadrupled in their sales because of that pandemic created the healthiest times ever in the automotive industry. It created the healthiest times ever in the boat industry. And it created the healthiest times ever in the RV industry. It created the healthiest times ever in the motorcycle industry. So it's just ironic that a plague, in so many ways, created the healthiest times of what drives this country's excitement. I mean, that's a statement. Just think that through. That during the dire straits of times, people were more fixated on having fun with something that had an engine, for the most part, attached to it than anything in modern times. Because a boat has an engine. An RV has an engine. Now, the camper pull behind, no. But guys went out and bought nice engine trucks to pull that big old camper, I guarantee you that. And then here are the engines, the motorcycles, it went through the roof. Beyond unbelievable. So what is the main driving force of somebody's health? And that's what I heard over and over again from the RV dealer, from the boat dealer, the motorcycle dealer, was people wanted to have independence and get away from the lockdown, and they wanted to escape, and their escape with their family being locked down, because you had any kids, everybody was forced to be at home all day long. If you had the opportunity to be a remote worker, mom and dad were at home all day long, and everyone wanted to get away. So everybody's resort was they found the wheels, the tires and wheels that move things, to go escape. And it was the biggest amount of RVing, boating, motorcycling in modern times. And you go to Florida, you couldn't even find a boat slip. You went to Florida, you may have to wait a year to get a boat. I hear that RV resorts didn't have enough room for RVs to fit in them. I mean, just beyond believable of what the pandemic created for the well-being and healthiness of all these industries, because that's what most people related to as being able to be healthier because they had the opportunity to escape their confinement. And I talk about it all the time. That's what these motorcycles do for me. They're a health helper. My cars are a health helper. Somebody be like, yeah, but the financial burden and everything, yes, it's huge. I get that. But when you can drive down the road in this motorcycle, ride down the road, and just have that separation from the daily routine of what you have to do and how this you see more. You're on the motorcycle, you're up and you're sitting around, you can look, you can see everything around you. It's just a whole different experience. The cars, it goes down to, for me, it's all about that exhilaration of hearing that exhaust note, feeling the pull of the engine. That is just so much fun. Especially on these Harleys. These Harleys just have a really cool exhaust note. And when you're going down the road and you hear that engine, you hear that noise, and you hear that exhaust note, it just makes you feel invigorated. It makes you feel healthier. That you're breathing, hopefully, the fresh air. If you're fortunate enough, you get out in the back roads, the country, and it just enables you to have what you're so in the routine of your daily work and job and all the traffic. And if you can go ride the Smoky Mountains, wherever it may be, whatever part of the country, you get out in these back roads and you see the world, you see the country. It's such a great health. I think it's very extremely healthy for you. For me, I'm just a truck guy. I grew up truck guy. I love trucks. I mean, when I drive on the road in this 37 Raptor, it's just such the fun feeling truck. It's a truck. And I good friend of mine, Steve, at the car show, he just bought the Ram 1500. I had the Ram 1500 limited 2019 model, and I actually got rid of it because it wasn't a truck. It's an SUV. Anyone out there has a Ram 1500 truck, the Highline truck, it's a very nice truck. I had the air ride suspension and every option you get. Beautiful truck, awesome truck. But it rode too much like an SUV. Even my friend Steve said, yeah, you can definitely feel that. The Ford, in so many ways, still drives like a truck, which I like that. I like that truck feel. That's why you go over an electric vehicle, that F-150 electric vehicle is, the Lightning, it has a truck feel to it for sure, but it's definitely just a whole different feel. So the healthness, the healthy part of what drives us is us wanting the independence and the freedom that's what you get out, I feel, of anything, of owning a car, owning a motorcycle, and you have a freedom to do all this. But then you go to the health of times and the health of, like I talked about, Elon Musk, and the health of technology. And that's where I think we're at a crossroads, because there are people that are getting so fixated on these vehicles being so much more controlled in so many ways that I think this is where we all are starting to just raise our eyebrows on, how far is this all going? And that's what I talk about in great depth all the time is, what is really going on with these vehicles and technology and the self-driving. It's all about monitoring. It's all about control. Let's get upstairs here and keep the conversations going as you get to see the gold rush and all the vehicles that just make me feel healthier, because I have these vehicles that I think are unique to me and aren't just a dime a dozen, right, pups? And is everybody behaving? Yeah, for the most part. But he got his little toy again, and they're eating the little cotton balls. Isn't that nice, right? Is that healthy? That's something that's sad. Right now, the amount of dog adoptions, the dog returns is at an all-time high again. So sadly, dogs right now are not in the healthiest of times because of the, I'm trying to get my seat to come up. It's all worn out. I've worn this seat up. The good news is I'm going to sit lower so maybe I don't look down on you. So yeah, sadly, the well-being of dogs is come back because of, apparently, we're not living in as healthy as times that as so many would like you to think. And that's always a challenge. That's always the separation of what's going on versus what's going on. I mean, And it's hard, and it's hard to see it. It's hard to see, especially in my area where I live. I mean, the roads are extremely busy. Shopping centers are extremely busy. For the most part, the car dealerships and motorcycle dealerships I go, for the most part, I mean, there's definitely niches, but it just seems like, are we in the healthiest times ever at this time? And I'd have to say no, we're not. Because if you look at what's going on around us, the amount of people that are dying from drug overdose, fentanyl, is at an all-time high. The amount of the drugs being imported in this country is at an all-time high. You look at the amount of illegal immigration, apparently it's now hit its highest single-month number ever in all time. If you look at these inner cities, you see the challenges of the illegals that are being shipped in there, and then they already have their own personal challenges. I mean, so you can start going through the list and just say to yourself, for the state of times, are we living in the healthiest times? But then you go back to like I talked about during the pandemic. We've had the most prosperous times ever in those industries. That's all changing. If you look at other industries that took the hits, I mean, a lot of small business owners and other industries that didn't fit the niche, they didn't have very healthy times. And so, if you look at where we are on the, I mean, are our inner cities healthier today than they were before? Is our education system healthier now than it was before? Do you feel safer riding on a subway today than you would, years ago? You can just start kind of going through the list of. It's just ironic that what has enriched so many, but has been sacrificed by so many others to be healthier. And we're so fixated on the green agenda environment. And sure, the green agenda environment, it talks about the well-being of mankind because of the higher Celsius raising 1 degree, whatever the number, 1.8 Celsius, or is it 1.8 Fahrenheit? I'm not even sure on that. But the whole speculation is the well-being of mankind is, to be a healthy world and for the health of mankind. And that's where I just talked about earlier. It's just so, all this money is being spent for the well-being of our world in so many ways, mankind. But at the same time, we're witnessing the biggest obesity and biggest drug abuse and biggest homelessness and mental disorder in this country than we've ever had to date. As we continue to fight over, what the motor versus the engine is the right direction for the future of mankind. Oh my goodness, it just doesn't end, man. Tell you what, I just had a rough day yesterday. I'm still recovering. Whew. So, like I said, I didn't even know if I'd even make a video today. So then I got thinking, it's all about your health. What's your health? What's the biggest concern of anybody that progresses? It's your health. I mean, more than anything, it's all about, how healthy are you going to be when you're older? What can you do? What you can't do? And that's where I think just some people don't get it. So you get to be in your 50s and 60s. You're not doing what I'm doing forever. It becomes more challenging for the monies to be made. And not to say you can't make a lot of money as you get older, but the whole mindset starts to kind of change. What's a priority and what isn't. And for me, I've had a lot of fun for many years of me owning lots of nice cars and trucks and motorcycles. But then at some point, for the well-being and health of me, it's just like, okay, I've had my fun and it's time to downsize and make what makes more sense than the constant addictions of buying yet another car or motorcycle. When a year ago, I said to everybody that the 2023 year would not be the year of me buying tons of cars and motorcycles. Good Lord, how wrong was about that? So, for the record, that's the thing. We all seem to know the future, but yet we can't remember yesterday. Or we all seem to know the future, but don't want to accept what the future came to be. I mean, does anybody really just, It's just been unbelievable. And now this year, with the election year upon us, oh my gosh. And I preached it, and I'll preach it all day long. Just watch how Elon Musk is going to be the punching bag, and how the Elon Musk, but X, talking about to me unhealthy. Go to X. It is the worst. I just really don't. I just will pop on there for a little bit. It is the most unhealthy environment you could ever be in, and I so believe that there's actors on X that are deliberately making X the hate machine because they're the actors. They want to shut down X. They truly want to get rid of X, and they're going to do everything you can do to get on there and to do really nasty things to get people to play along with their nasty games when their real goal is just to shut down Elon Musk. And if you don't think that's going on, you're fooling yourself. The actors are here. It's 2024. You're going to start seeing so many actors that start doing things to make people feel unhealthy about things and it's in the well-being of others. I mean, it's just I just think we're going to witness in 2024 the most propaganda ever because of all this technology. And you're not going to know where you're talking to artificial intelligence or an actual person. That's where it's all going. The AI for the health, you think about the well-being, the health of the job sector. I mean, apparently 2.3 million jobs last year. But what's interesting is the majority of those jobs were in the healthcare industry and the government industry. It wasn't the IT industry. IT industry apparently only picked up 277 jobs. There were 772 jobs. How they came up with that number, but the whole point is they're saying for the tech people, that industry is not very healthy. And the reason is because the change of dynamics of artificial intelligence. And they're even saying the semiconductor business, in so many ways, is that going to be as healthy? The problem with that is semiconductor business is looking for all this artificial intelligence, the highest grade of semiconductors. The not so high grade semiconductors aren't really being sought after. So that industry is maybe even for a little bit of a shakeup, maybe. But the healthiness of the artificial intelligence, it's getting ready to go through the roof, where it's just going to be unbelievable. And once again, what's so dangerous that is, you're going to be seeing on these social platforms, artificial intelligence will be used at its highest rate ever for this upcoming election. And people will create fake videos, fake scenes. It's going to go through the roof of what people are going to be fooled to think is something that really isn't anything. All right, that's it. I'm going to wrap it up there. I wasn't even going to make a video today, just so you know, but I did it. And anyways, just that time of year, just not everybody's feeling great and what's going around. And, it's just that time of the year. So, hey, everybody, thanks for watching my channel. Stay safe. God bless. What's happening next? Am I going to buy a John Deere? I don't know. Yeah. It's Monday morning, and I got to go back to work, get things in order. So just kind of keep it at that and get my energy back. And there you go. So everybody have a great day. God bless. Stay safe and stay tuned.